Good.
Welcome to the 40 or so of you guys who are here this evening. For those of you who are here, you've at least got enough power to sit at your computer or your phone, and we'll have our award ceremony. Please tell the folks who weren't able to be here, tell them to send their names to Carol if they haven't already done so. And we will be sure and recognize folks at our March meeting if they weren't able to be here. This was a pretty amazing year, so we all deserve to pats on the back for what we accomplished this year.
Amen.
I'm going to start with a few announcements. Since Ryan just asked this question, can you start counting your hours yet? The answer is yes, but I'm going to ask you to either contact me or your project leader. And I'm always picking on Galen because she's my project leader. So the project leaders that I know of got a whole bunch of information. This is for folks that are either master naturalists or master gardeners. Those lucky remember, project leaders are volunteers. They get to fill out more forms now, and you get to fill out more COVID-19 screening forms. And it looks like that's going to be the policy indefinitely. That was the word that was used last month from the state, our state sponsors. So the answer is yes, you can start counting volunteer hours again, but check with your project leader and find out what you're supposed to do.
So if I do naturalist, if I do natural guard, who's the project leader?
Talk to the folks at Forward Nature Center.
That would be Kenneth Nally.
Okay.
Kenneth Nally.
Thank you. Anyway, and you can also contact me since he's not a master naturalist. Go ahead and contact me, Ryan. I heard that there were over 1,800 people who were able to log in to Doug Tallamy's program this past week, and that many people who tried to get in couldn't get in. I think that's just extraordinary that so many people were excited to hear them. The talk is recorded. And if you ask me how to find it, what I would do to find it is I would Google TMN Tuesdays, and then I'd go to whatever the website directs me to. And you can earn hours. Since this is a special state master naturalist program, you can earn hours for watching a recorded program. That's not the standard. The standard is you have to be watching live, or you have to be able to access with questions and answers or something. So take advantage of that. The next TMN Tuesday is March 9th. I have not yet heard who the speaker will be, and I'll be letting you know that when I find out. I'll send out some emails, or I'll get Frank or Mary Beth to send out an email. Remember, if you are if you're watching the TMN Tuesday and you want to get your hours, that it's a little bit abnormal for how to sign in your hours. Usually we are used to logging in, and we look for underscore, that underline key, _AT. Well, this TMN Tuesdays has been put in by the state, and there's no underscore. And if you think, I have no idea what she's talking about, well, if you don't do it correctly, you'll get an email from Mary Beth very politely asking you to correct it. And I'm trying to help you do it correctly, and trying to help Mary Beth from having to reply to 15 or 20 people that she very politely replied and said, please re-enter. So it's no underscore AT TMN Tuesday. That is, it's after Arlington Fielder Butterfly and before Audubon Society, under the volunteer part, not the advanced training. even though it is advanced training. If you don't understand, I understand. I'm stalling a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do another announcement or two. You can say that's stalling, but I want to make sure that anybody who's trying to log in gets here. Our next chapter meeting is 1 month from today on March 15th. It will be at 7 p.m. And it will be The Ecology of the Big Bend by Tim Martin. And he is a guide extraordinaire. Now, I'm not sure who's calling him that, but I will trust that. Tim leads adventures, relying on his expertise in fly fishing and hiking, especially focusing on general West Texas knowledge. You won't find a better guide if you're going to Big Bend, the Guadalupe Mountains, or anywhere between Fort Worth and El Paso. So that's quite a challenge, because I've known some really good guides, but I'm not a hiker. I would like to fly fish, but I haven't done it enough one time. So that's next month's chapter meeting. You guys who are here, the planning committee that set up this program has done an amazing job, led by Carol Marcotte, with Sandy Thornburg, Galen Harden, Melinda Pajak, and especially thanks to Kevin Pajak, who did quite a few pre-ice storm deliveries. Many of you who have your pins or certificates have them because Kevin went to the extra trouble. So next time you get a chance to thank them, please do. And again, I'll remind you, everybody's a volunteer. If you recertified this year, if you didn't get something hand delivered by Kevin and you think, well, I'd like my pin, then please contact Carol and give her some information about how you would like to pick up your pin if you want it before the next in-person meeting. Now, if you can wait until we meet in person, you can just sit back and enjoy waiting until we meet in person. But if you really would like your pin, please contact Carol so you can work out how you can pick it up. And Carol, will you put your contact in chat for those folks who are not trainees who haven't been already talking to you quite a bit? All right. We are going to begin this awards program by recognizing our newest members from the class of 2020. And again, this for those of you who are new, this is a first time thing. The photos, the bios collected, you know, Melinda hounded you and she collected them and sent them to Carol. So we are going to start with Gina Alexander. Gina Alexander is a public health nurse. You can imagine she's been very busy in the last couple of months vaccinating. She's also supervising her nursing students at TCU with vaccinations. She's collaborating with Vicki Brooks on our Explore. And Gina or Vicki, if I'm mispronouncing this, unmute yourself and tell us how to pronounce that. It's Prescribing Life Outdoors and Real Exploration. She's working with her nursing students and with Vicki at TCU on this program to work with primary care physicians and providers to get people outdoors in nature. We all know in our hearts that makes us more healthy. And she's working on making sure these other folks understand that there's evidence for that too. She loves hiking and kayaking. And this photo was taken at Moraine Lake in Banff National Park, Alberta, Canada. Congratulations, Gina. Also certifying this year is Vicki Brooks. I'm not sure Vicki could make it because of power outages. Vicki is also a nurse practitioner and works with her nursing students at TCU. She lives in Mineral Wells, yay, Parker County. She loves all things master naturalists, enjoys hiking, backpacking, and learning about new environments. This is at Dead Horse State Park in Utah. Cool. Our next, I almost said graduating senior. That's how long I've been doing it. Is Michelle Sear. She loves to travel. She's been in Thailand and Tyler, Texas, and I guess everywhere between. I like that, Michelle, the way you said whether it's Thailand or Tyler. Very few things scare Vicki. Excuse me, I keep saying that, I apologize. Scare Michelle. She can handle bugs, spiders, or snakes without any fear. She is even happy to take on a kindergarten class. I understand that. She's a lifetime Girl Scout. This is Michelle. I'll say her name correctly a few times, Michelle, and enjoys helping kids and adults feel comfortable outdoors. Congratulations, Michelle. Next is Crystal Danning. Whoa. Crystal Danning has performed professionally in violin with the Fort Worth Civic Orchestra, but she moved away from being a music major, and now she does music as her hobby. And she also collects and is learning to play traditional as well as unusual musical instruments: cello, accordion, sax, and the theremin. And if you watch the old Star Trek show, the original, you know what the theremin sounds like. Crystal is really into repurposing, finding ways that things can be reused. And she's done some of that at the Southwest Sub Courthouse, reusing plants that Galen says they need to go, then we take them home. She's into going back to basics, that is being self-sufficient with spinning, weaving, and she even has a small grain mill. She wants to get it operational as her grandfather did in Louisiana. And she says her mom says that Crystal reminds her mom of Little House on the Prairie. Congratulations, Crystal. Julianne. There you go. Julianne Matthews has 2 ball pythons and 10 rabbits. No, she says the rabbits are not snake food. Just after training was over, she was very busy. Just after training was over, she got married, and she wanted to be a game warden, but her vision is not good enough. So I don't know, Julianne, we'll keep seeing if we can find new treatments to get that vision improved so you can be a game warden. This is a picture of Julianne in New Mexico. Next person, there she is, Julianne Matthews. Next person is Robin Fort Laughlin. She has seen the Northern Lights. That's on my bucket list. She has been to 5 of the 7 continents. She can catch flies with her hands. And she's met Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin is one of my heroes. So congratulations, Robin. Robin is followed by, how'd you like that segue? Megan McConnell. Now, Megan couldn't be here because her power's out. So I can tell you what a great student Megan is, because she was in my biology class a couple of years ago. So, it was a lot of fun to discover that she had joined the Master Naturalists. She collects bones and dead bugs. She makes amazing banana Nutella crepes. Mary Beth, put her on the Mary Beth isn't hospitality anymore. Sandy, put Megan on your hospitality list. She is on a lifelong hunt for an arrowhead or an ancient bison skull, and she is currently scouting Town Creek behind her house in Aledo. So anyone who wants to join her in hunting those items, please see Megan McConnell. The next graduate is Denise Peterson. Denise is married with 3 grown children, recently retired public school teacher, and now she teaches at museum school at the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History and summer preschool classes at River Legacy. That's a big animal there, that moose. She has a passion for teaching children and nature. She loves experiences with animals, with finding waterfalls on hikes, and trying to outfish her husband. So thank you for joining us, Denise. Congratulations. The next person is Paul John Roach. That looks like a fairly recent photo there. It's cold outside. Paul tells us that his wife says he has a rock song lyric for every eventuality in life. And that's impressive. And he has just finished writing a book on world religions, and it is now with the publisher, which is a good sign. He has a publisher. So congratulations, Paul John. Certifying, I believe these folks are now certifying from 2019. Am I correct there, Carol? Yes, class of 2019, first year certification.
Yes.
Susan Offlerbach. I saw Susan a few minutes ago. She and her husband are very brave. They have sold their house and bought an Airstream trailer. They plan to continue working until the end of this school year, and then will travel and visit state and national parks and also volunteer in the parks. This new path will sometimes take them away from Fort Worth and our master naturalists, but they will still be active volunteers in the state of Texas. If things go as we plan, they hope to spend January through March of 2022 volunteering at Big Bend National Park. That sounds cool.
Yep.
The next person, the next person who also certified was Alyssa Austin, and I don't believe she'll be here. So we'll go to Amy Dragon. There's Amy Dragon, who we're all gonna say thank you to Amy. She teaches earth science to 12th graders at Arlington ISD, and sending you extra blessings. The phrase teaching and 12th graders, y'all know oxymoron, right? There's, it's a different breed because they're ready to get out. Her favorite bird is blue jay. She loves camping, backyard birding, campfires, and cooking. And I will report that she says she has 3 kids, 3 dogs, 4 cats, 1 lizard, and 7 fish. Congratulations, Amy. Next is Sydney Dragon, also from class of 19. There's Sydney. Sydney joined Master Naturalist with her mom, Amy. Now, I'm gonna say that Amy doesn't look like she's old enough to be your mom, okay? Sydney?
Right.
Amy is a UTA biology alumnus. Her favorite hobby is photography, especially for INAT. She loves birding and will always go with her boyfriend, Sam Moore. There's a reason you named him, right? Sam Moore, who also loves photography. She's currently an intern at the Arlington Ecological Office for U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, where she also leads bird walks. Congratulations, Sydney. Next up would be Joe Cooterer, but he is not able to be here. Larry Munt. Oh, that's a great photo. This is Larry's favorite place, Kauai, Hawaii. at the base of a huge waterfall. Gee, I think I can tell which one is that. He says he later learned that even a small rock dislodging from the top of the waterfall could have killed someone below. But I guess his friends and family waited after that to tell him. The second is the overlook at the top of the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, otherwise known as Waimea Canyon on Kauai. And I've been fortunate enough to be in that spot, Larry, and it is beautiful. Congratulations. Next is Loretta Bailey. Aw, that's a cute dog. Loretta is also a Texas Master Gardener, propagation specialist for them, a compost specialist, and also a citizen forester. She's crazy about nature, all plants and trees. She is mom to 3 rescued pups and lives in Fort Worth with her husband of 14 years. And we are very glad to have you joining our Master Naturalist chapter, Loretta. Thank you. Next is John Chaney. I think John Chaney is one of those fellows who just makes, he uses few words, but they're very important. John Chaney is also, this is what he wrote to us. He is also a Texas Master Gardener, a Master Compost, and a citizen's forester. Now, that is almost everything he said, but he did add he holds a master's degree in communications. So we probably had the shortest report from the person who masters in communications. Congratulations, John. Next is Anna Leone. Cool, having a great time. Anna loves to go tent camping, especially from fall through spring. And according to Anna, she loves to go polar camping. So the person who's if the rest of us should have power, because Anna should be the one who can tolerate not having any electricity right now. Right, Anna? She's a proud mom to her dog Rio, and she's had several other she has other rescue dogs that join her on her adventure. She has summited her first 12er. I guess that's the photo there toward the bottom left in Colorado. And inspired by taking the Master Naturalist training, she recently enrolled to go back to college to finish her geology and geoscience studies. Congratulations, Anna. Awesome.
Yeah.
Jim Prentice. Jim Prentice. Jim is an amazing writer, and I'm not going to spoil everything he said because I think we ought to post his entire talk. So I'm just telling you that, Jim. You're on the spot. But I'll start out with that Jim, his wife, and his 3 toddlers back in the 1970s for 3 years lived on Midway Island. Now, not Midway Island, US, except I guess it is a US territory. I'm talking in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There they shared a lawn with Lausanne albatross and Goonie birds, which I guess are Goonie birds. Now, according to Jim, the Goonie bird or Lausanne albatross is a bird that spends most of its life at sea, but comes ashore to mate and have babies. They are a big bird with a wingspan of 6 feet and reach upwards of 4 feet when they trumpet. His kids, remember he said they were toddlers, learned real fast to leave those birds alone because they were very protective of their space and family. Jim became a master gardener in Dallas in the early 1990s. He's gotten several NIPSOT certifications. He's taken citizen forester training, and he has volunteered at the Southwest Sub Courthouse. And we are very grateful to have Jim. Congratulations. Next is Kayla West. Ah, yes, the music. Kayla, that's a cool place. Kayla is an excellent but long-winded storyteller. So now I'm a little hesitant to ask her about that because she added that long-winded part. She does an excellent impression of Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter, but she won't do it right now. But maybe we can get her to do that for all the teachers in the room who can say, Professor McGonagall called in. She plans to begin her PhD in rhetoric and composition. I had to remind myself that's English this summer so she can write a dissertation about the language of plants. She always travels with a hand lens called a loop, and she actually read the Master Naturalist textbook. Congratulations to a student who actually read the textbook.
Yeah.
Next is Ryan Wiggins. There's Ryan. Ryan, and here's another person to be grateful for. She is a 3rd grade science and social studies teacher, and she has done that for 18 years. The mountain lion is her favorite animal, and she has a tangerine Honduran milk snake named Poppy. Her favorite hiking location is the narrow trail at Zion National Park. But she loves to hike, she loves Colorado, and wants to go back to visit South Africa, which I presume means she's been there before. So these are our newest graduating Master Naturalists, and we're very, very grateful to have all of them.
Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Now, Carol, we did practice part of this, but we didn't, I presume I don't have to reread the list of graduators, right? Graduates?
Right
We've
now,
gone through them. Now it's the 1st year certification. Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. We have 12 1st year certification. That means they've also gotten their 40 hours plus 8 hours training in addition to completing training. So 40 hours of volunteer service plus 8 hours of advanced training on top of the basic training. That's Susan Offlerbach, Alyssa Austin, Amy Dragon, Sydney Dragon, Joe Cooterer, and Larry Munt. That's from class of 2019. From class of 2020, these folks are like the honeybees, or excuse me, the native bees of Master Naturalists. They've been super busy because not only did they take their training this fall, they also got certified in 2020. So we call that double certified. That's Loretta Bailey, John Chaney, Anna Leone, Jim Prentice, Kayla West, and Ryan Wiggins. So now that, if that doesn't make you feel like you have wasted some time, we're going to talk about milestones next. And we are really fortunate in our chapter to have quite a few folks who have earned an achievement called the milestone. And the first milestone is the Bronze Dragonfly. The Bronze Dragonfly is for 250 plus hours of service. This is in all the years. Those folks who earned their Bronze Dragonfly are George Fred Barton, Cindy Cobb, Beverly Moore, and Glinda Yandell. Okay, so 250 hours, huh? Well, how about folks who have earned the Silver Dragonfly, 500 hours of service? We have 5 people who earned that award in the last year: Zachary Chapman, Banjo Moore, Kate Morgan, Kevin Pajak, and Sharon Hamilton. So those folks, okay, new members, okay, now you know there's another stepping stone or milestone at 500.
Zoom.
But wait,
Not invited.
what commercial is that? But wait, there's a milestone that is a gold dragonfly pin. This is for 1,000 plus hours of service. We have several members at this level among our entire membership, but this year we have 5 members who have achieved this milestone. That is our former president, Bill Collins, Carol Marcotte, Melinda Pajak, Kimberly Sasson, and Suzanne Tuttle. And again, there are other members that are at that level or higher. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to work really hard, but in my dreams, perhaps someday I will achieve the polished gold with ruby dragonfly. That is an award for 4,000 plus hours of volunteer service. And we have 2 members this year who achieved that milestone. I feel like I ought to have a drum roll in the background. These 2 special master naturalists are Martha Mullins, yay!
Hey.
Yay!
And Jane Osterheis, yay!
Yay!
Yes.
And they are so special that they get a certificate from the President of the United States.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to try and avoid being political. That's hard for me. But it doesn't matter which president signs it. You know, it's the US government. It's going to take a while for them to get those certificates. Okay, was that equal opportunity making fun of the government, I hope?
76.
Brent, we mostly have black screen. Yes, we do. I'm seeing a comment from Brent. Carol, I think you need click to exit, and maybe Mary Beth, we stop sharing Carol. Do we need to stop sharing Carol's slideshow? You can show us that now. That's okay.
Yeah.
There's the end.
Yeah. There we go.
So you can
There we
get out. You can get your slideshow out. That's tell us again where that is, Carol.
That is Randall Mill Park in Arlington, and that is the creek that empties into a huge pond, and most of it is ice. The creek is iced and most of the pond is iced. I went over there this afternoon and took this picture, and I was counting the birds, and all the birds are in this little bitty space that's not iced over on the pond. There are all, it was easy to count them today.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Now we have 15 groups who recertified in 2020, despite COVID, despite a lockdown, despite shortages of all kinds of things. These folks managed to get their 8 hours of advanced training and 40 hours of volunteer service. I'm going to read these in chronological order. Normally, for you folks that are new, if we were at an in-person meeting, we'd have all these folks stand up and we'd take group photos. But you get to wear your pajamas to this kind of meeting and you don't have to stand up. From class of 1998, Marcia McLaughlin recertified. Congratulations, Marcia. From class of 1999, Galen Hardin and Jan Miller certified. Thank you. From class of 2000, Hester Schwartzer recertified, and Hester is not here because she has no power. From class of 2006, yay, Sharon Hamilton and Josephine Keeney recertified.
Yay.
Josephine has been more steady. I took about a 10-year leave of absence.
All right.
Class of 2007, Sandy Fountain and Kay Secchio recertified. Class of 2009, wow, what a class.
Yay, yay.
Bill Collins, Martha Mullins, and Troy Mullins have recertified.
Yay.
Hey.
This is going a lot faster, Carol, since people aren't standing up to have their photos taken. You were definitely right about this. From the class of 2010, Jose Martinez, Jane Osterheis, Dick Scheck, and Teresa Thomas recertified. From the class, hooray, from the class of 2011, Carrie Austin and Bill Hall recertified. From the class of 2012, Khaki Cunningham, Dick Pafford, and Suzanne Tuttle recertified. Yes, thank you, Dick Scheck, you're right. From class of 2013, Phil Beloga, and this, who is this person? Brent Franklin recertified.
Hey, Brent.
Is he here?
Who is that?
Yes, he's here. I saw him in chat, so yes, he's here. One of my students used to say I picked on him. And I said, well, I'm sorry. And then he went home and told his older siblings that I picked on him. And they said, the older siblings said, Spencer, she only picks on you if she likes you. And so then it was all okay. And he was upset. He was sad then if I didn't pick on him anymore. Class of 2014, got a big group that recertified. Kimberly Conroe, Fonda Fox, Banjo Moore, Melinda Pajak, Donna Piercy, and Debbie Stilson. Congratulations.
Yay.
Class of 2015, Charlie Amos and Carol Marcotte recertified.
Yay.
That's small but powerful, we say, right? Class of 2016, Joan Carey, Zachary Chapman, Donna Honkamp, Mary Beth Lampy, and Roberto Ramos recertified. Thank you all. Class of 2017, Kathy Livingston, Kate Morgan, Kimberly Sasson, Sandy Thornburg, and Glenda Walker. Glenda, I saw you. You made it. Hooray. Thank you, class of 2017. Class of 2018. See how I'm slowing down now? Class of 2018. George Barton, Leah Breitenstein, Avon Burton, Glenn Butler, Alexis Chernovsky, Lori Chernovsky, Jason Cole, Wendy Elias, Christopher Honkamp, Ellen Long, Beverly Moore, Carrie Moore, Don Schomer, and David Vestal. And with those from 2018 and the individuals from 2019 and 2020, those are our certification, new certified or recertified master naturalists in this really tough year. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Carol, I'll put you on the spot. And if you don't know, just say, I don't want to be on the spot. Do you know how many different master naturalists we certified or recertified this year from our chapter?
I think there was either 51 or 52.
Awesome. That's
Yes.
great.
Yes, yes. Everybody works so hard in these difficult times, finding opportunities and finding an opportunity to make an opportunity was
Right.
difficult this year.
Right.
We just love it. And the state of Texas appreciates it so much.
Yes, all the organizations you're working for, they
Yes,
are grateful. They're probably too busy to say they are right now, you know.
overwhelmed.
I imagine they're all overwhelmed. I know our two folks from our state office, 2.5. They always say we have 2.5 staff members. They are working super hard for us.
Yes.
We should also take just a little bit of time to thank our instructors for this fall's training. These folks, I think, get, quote, volunteered into being instructors. They're helping train you new folks because they love nature. It might be spiders, but it's at least some part of nature. And because they value you and think it's worth their time to work with you and answer your questions and try and explain things and set up, you know, be there for field trips and so forth. So I'm going to list the instructors for 2020. You're going to hear some very familiar names here. Rachel Richter, Texas Parks and Wildlife. Michael Perez, Fort Worth Nature Center. Michael Smith, I'm not sure what group he is with. Michael Smith. Laura Velaz, Fort Worth Nature Center. Sam Kieschnick, Texas Parks and Wildlife. Kenneth Nally, Fort Worth Nature Center. Michelle Villafranca, Fort Worth Nature Center. Nick Griffin. Brent Franklin, Cross Timbers Master Naturalist, and Dr. Ann Mayo. And I know Ann is here. I'm not sure if any of the other instructors are here, but thank you guys again. Okay, Michelle, thank you guys again. I'm getting, yes.
Can I give kind of a, I don't know, a little blurb about some possible opportunities?
Well, coincidentally, Anne,
Yeah.
the next thing in my script here is, are there any further announcements?
Okay.
So you have perfect timing and we are ready to hear about some possible opportunities.
All right, thank you, thank you. First, I want to say I love all you guys. It is so powerful to me to hear your stories and your commitment and your adventures. I want you to be my best friends. Really, you do my heart so good. I came to Texas to do graduate studies and joined this group right away. And it has fed me and you continue to feed me. So I really want to thank you just for the beauty of your spirits. I could cry, really. All right, so having said that, let me throw something out to you. This is not formalized yet, but I am basically an ant biologist and study particularly the ant, the Comanche harvester ant, which is like the harvester ant you're probably more familiar with. But at this point, some things had happened. So I belong to a group called Texas Ants, and we were a group of young researchers, and we were going to try to document all the ants in the state of Texas, which is an important thing to do, and of course, an overwhelming task. However, many of those folks who were spearheading this left the state or moved on to something other than ants. And I seem to be the only one here who is trying to do this. And of course, it's a big task for one person. So that's kind of the background. I work primarily in the Fort Worth Nature Center, but I also try to work in Tandy Hills, in Fort Worth, in the Southwest Nature Preserve. There are two projects that you might be able to join me on. One is to do nest casts for the Comanche harvester ant. So that's a matter of doing plaster casts. I've gotten partials, but not the full thing. We're really after the full thing. And Zachary has been part of trying to do this and been working with me this last summer. So he could probably speak to some of this if you are interested to talk to him about it. But that's one thing. The other thing is to collect ants. And there are several ways to do that: hand collection, also pitfall traps. And also I have the possibility, hopefully with a little funding, that you could collect them wherever you are and other areas you visit. And that's a matter of having a centrifuge tube and putting some pecan sandy in it, setting it out for an hour, and whatever you collect, you freeze it and send it to me, and me and some others will identify those ants. So there are a couple of different projects you might be able to be involved in. If you're interested, shoot me an email. I need to run this stuff by Rob Dinkhouse and others at Fort Worth Nature Center and whoever else. It would be a matter of maybe 5 people, not more than that at a time. So small crowd. And I'd probably have to do a little short kind of training, but mostly this is stuff anybody can do, and you can get involved with me with that if that would be helpful. I'm assuming you can get credit for your volunteer hours for that. Certainly it would really help give Texas a better idea of the ant species we have. So right now, Arizona claims the most ant species, but we know Texas is bigger with more habitat, more different habitats. So we're really thinking we probably have it nailed. I can't do the whole state, but if we can focus on Tarrant County, Parker County, where I am, and maybe some other, close by counties, that would be really, really good. So if you're interested, I'll put my email in the chat box and you can get in touch with me and we'll kind of see how we can build this up. I'm working with a man, Alex Wild, who's at UT in Austin, and some others that are in the state and also out of the state who would be really good for identifying ants and are very interested to try to move this forward. So if you could be some hands for me, that would be fantastic. So that's my little plug. Thank you.
And yes, please do put your email into the chat. Anne, thank you.
Could I also mention something really briefly?
Sure.
Sure. I'm doing a herp survey at the Southwest Nature Preserve. And it's an ongoing project. And basically, if anyone is interested in the coming year and getting out and surveying some herp populations, reptiles and amphibians there, I'd love to have you come along, COVID allowing. I'll put my email address in the chat as well.
Thank you, Michael.
Sure, thank
And
you.
you're also an instructor, correct?
Yes, yes.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Sure, it's always a blast. It really is.
Good.
And you just wrote a book.
Yeah, I had the second book come out this last fall, the Wild Lives of Reptiles and Amphibians.
Cool.
Good.
Might need to open our bedroom door.
Any other announcements? I try to give plenty of wait time.
So I just want to ask a question, Sharon,
Sure.
so I'm clear. So today's meeting, the Zoom meeting, is going to be recorded, and where is it posted? Is it on YouTube or?
Mary Beth is going to tell us that.
Yeah, I will post it on YouTube. I can put that link on our website. I will put it on our website.
Okay, and then March the 15th is our next general meeting, and you're
Yes.
going to acknowledge everybody who was not able to come tonight?
That is the plan, yes.
Good, okay.
Also, this meeting does not count as AT hours, correct?
Correct.
Since we didn't really learn anything.
We learned about each other.
Well, I mean,
We
didn't
learned
learn about science.
I learned a lot about our new members.
We learned about fantastic people.
We learned about it.
Yes.
We learned about elephant ears and all kinds of stuff. So, I'm going to count it.
Don't list elephant ears, they're non-native.
We can list ants, maybe?
Yeah.
It's important to know the non-natives to make sure you're not getting them confused. So.
Right, exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
Well, everyone, I will say keep your fingers crossed in a way to be as most open as possible to everyone. But we've had pandemic, we've had blizzard and freezing ice. March in Texas. I wonder what kind of a weather event might come next. I won't say it so I don't jinx us for our next meeting.
I'm thinking it, I just don't want to say it.
Yeah,
I'm looking for an earthquake or a tsunami or something.
Listen, I'm in Weatherford and I went to work because I had issues at home. So I went to work at 5:30 this morning and I was told later it was -16 and my hands almost froze the 10-minute drive I have. Right?
I believe
I got
you.
out and it was 13 degrees and I thought, oh my gosh, this is spring. I came home to heat. I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm hot.
Yes.
I just
And that
wanted to say that-
go ahead.
I just wanted to say about Dr. Mayo's project. She did mention I was working with her last year. It is really interesting to just go around with her and just learn about different aspects of the Fort Worth Nature Center and just collect the insects. I mean, I'm learning so much from that, and just in that short period of time, we got to a late start, which was very unfortunate that we got. But we did what we could, and we got all the stuff we needed for that first bit, and we make posters that get published to these big things like the entomology
Society of America. That was a big deal.
Cool.
In fact, Zachary, we got several people who recommended that poster, which featured your photographs.
Yes.
I saw at least people in the context of that meeting in November that said they recommended it. And I've continued to get some of that. So even this basic work you guys do is important to graduate students and others who are doing this insect research. It gives us a guide into that, what's going on in this part of the world. So yeah, Zach, excellent photography, really helpful.
Thank you.
Yes. Once again, thank you, Carol, Galen, Sandy, Melinda. Thank everybody. Tell Kevin thank you for making all of the deliveries. Did I get everybody? Thank you, instructors. Thank you to all you nature nerds out there. I think those of us who love this group, we found our people. And I have two quotes this evening. The first is attributed to Aristotle. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. And when your water pipes freeze and your power's out and it's 3 degrees, I want you to remember that you heard that saying.
Yeah.
There is something of the marvelous. And because I want to encourage everyone to do what you can, we can't all raise thousands of different kinds of plants, and some of them will survive, and who knows which ones they'll survive. We can't all identify every ant or herp in Texas. And I know that even though I'm called a master naturalist, I am nowhere near a master. This is by John James Audubon. The woods would be silent if no birds sang except those who sang best. So for all of us singers who could wish we were better, still contribute to the beauty of the bird singing in the woods. I'll say it again. The woods would be silent if no birds sang there except those who sang best. Thank you, folks. this may be a record, but I think we're about to adjourn at 7:54 p.m. Stay warm, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.